This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I was fortunate enough to have Fujifilm send me over the GFX 100S to use for a month. This was my first time trying out a digital medium format camera, so I was really excited to get to use it. Along with the camera, they also sent me the GF 63mm 2.8, but I did also use some vintage Zeiss Jenna lenses that I've been modding for cinema use. There are two environments where I think medium format truly shines. That's with landscapes and portraiture. And what better place for landscape photography than Joshua Tree? I'm not at all used to photographing neither landscapes nor trees in the desert, but it was definitely a nice change for my photography. I used to find environments like this a bit boring and lackluster, but after this trip I came across this peacefulness and intrigue that comes with photographing the desert. This is probably one of my favorite shots of the trip, mainly because of the amount of depth within it. It is only a shot of a winding road, but the combination of using a telephoto lens wide open plus a medium format sensor gave this photo a look that I don't think could be replicated with a smaller sensor. One of my initial excitements about the GFX was the ability to view your composition in a 65:24 aspect ratio while shooting. I think I definitely used this as a crutch whenever I felt the composition was lacking, but it was a very unique experience, essentially using a digital X-pan minus the X-pan field of view. Overall, I'm happy with a lot of the shots that I was able to get with the GFX. What the f... Do you have a specific skill you're trying to learn? Skillshare is a perfect place to start. From color grading to cinematography and lighting to 3D rendering, you can find classes that will match any of your goals and interests. With a class like Film Lighting Made Simple by Dan and Liu, I've learned a lot of invaluable information that I will take with me as I continue to progress as a filmmaker. These classes really help build up my confidence before a shoot and eases some anxiety knowing there's a class for pretty much anything I need to learn. With Skillshare, you will find benefits such as being ad-free, having new classes launched every week, and being accessible through subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The first 1,000 people to use the link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I rented out a photography studio in downtown LA and asked people on my Instagram to sign up. I was fully booked for the 2 days I had the studio rented, with 16 people signing up for a portrait. Some of them being strangers, some of whom were friends of friends, and others being subscribers of this channel. For each shoot, I used the GFX 100S with the 63mm 2.8, and again, used some of my Zeiss Gen lenses. On the 63mm, I also had on a 1/8 Hollywood Blackmagic diffusion filter, which just helped soften up the skin a bit. I wanted to keep the lighting fairly simple, so I relied on natural light for each shoot, and it just really helped free up the space for both the talent and I. But one thing I did do is add in a black foam board just to help add in some contrast. When I originally made the post about the portrait shoots, I encouraged those who weren't models to sign up because my ultimate goal with this was to try and capture the essence of these people through the detail and the depth of field from medium format. I knew I wasn't going to go crazy with the backdrop and lighting because I wanted these photographs to feel more intimate and natural compared to something like a fashion shoot. Some people came in with specific ideas for their shoot, while others, it was their first time having their photo taken. I know this was a photography shoot, but it was also just really nice to meet people of so many different backgrounds and with such unique personalities. There's something about that extra detail and medium format that gives portraits a more real and, I guess, true to life feel. That coupled with the depth of field, it just gives off something that you can only achieve through medium or large format. What I thought was really beautiful is that through each portrait, you can really get a feel for the person's personality. Some were a little more timid and shy, while others came in knowing exactly how to pose. But both sides were a complete joy to work with. As far as directing the talent, I didn't really have a plan in mind. I just mainly relied on angles that I thought looked good on each person. There were also a lot of fellow photographers who signed up, and normally as a photographer you're never in front of the camera, so I was lucky enough to capture portraits of photographers who have never really had their portraits taken. This was such a great experience. I got to meet a lot of really cool people and met some subscribers of the channel, which made me super happy and grateful. So thank you to every single person that signed up for this shoot. I only had about a month with the camera, and I wish I had to return it, but during that time with it, I really just fell in love with the dynamic range, the depth of field, the detail that you get from such a large sensor. It has honestly made me consider purchasing a GFX body of my own. If I did, it would probably be a GFX 50 or something along those lines. But for now, I'm going to be sticking to my APS-C Fujifilm camera. If I did more portrait or fine art landscape photography, then I think it would make sense to invest in the GFX system. But I primarily do street photography and just documenting my life, and I'd rather take the size and the weight and the speed of the smaller sensor than a GFX. I think one of the benefits to shooting on medium format is having that extra resolution for printing your photographs. Because of that, I printed out a shot that I got with the GFX and one of my vintage lenses. It was a 35mm lens, which in GFX terms it's about a 28 or 24, somewhere around there, but it's super wide and there was vignetting on the corners, but I was shooting in the 65:24 aspect ratio that the GFX offers, so there isn't any noticeable vignetting on the sides. I ended up printing at 20:48, which isn't as wide as the original shot was, but overall I'm really happy with the detail and the colors that I managed to get out of the print. I have no doubt that I could have printed out a photo that I got with the XE4 to this size, but I think when it comes to large format printing, that extra resolution really does make a difference in basically the color tonality and just the overall detail that the image produces. Thank you to Fujifilm for sending me out the camera, and thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in my next one.